Let's take a look at some updates in the tech world. Microsoft has started teasing more information about its upcoming Surface event in New York City next month. The software giant has sent another invite to members of the press. They did that last week with a different image attached to that invite, and it clearly reveals the Surface logo and what looks like the shape of a processor. The invite also reveals that the event will start at 10 a.m. ET on October 2nd. Now, we understand that both Satya Nadella and Microsoft CEO Panos Panay will be in attendance, indicating that there will be some sort of significant news this year. Of course, that's what we love, significant updates to our regularly used softwares and all of that. Okay, all right, now this one might interest some of you fantasy-seeking techies. Now, fans of sci-fi and fringe tech may already be familiar with the idea of a space elevator, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like and totally impossible with today's technology. But a pair of scientists think they found an alternative, a moon elevator, and it's slightly less insane technically. Now, the idea of the space elevator, first explored in detail by Arthur C. Clarke in his novel The Fountains of Paradise, is essentially a tower so tall it reaches space. Now, instead of launching ships and materials from the surface of the Earth to orbit, you just put them in the elevator of this tower, and when they reach the top, somewhere about 26,000 miles up in geosynchronous orbit, they are already beyond gravity's pull for all intents and purposes. Now, hold on. If you're not, for those of you who are involved in mathematics and physics and all of that, this one might interest you. But was saying that, look, rather than just having a space elevator, there's a plan for a moon elevator, which might be possible with the kind of technology which we have in, a few years' time. But hey, it's still a fun idea. But the simple fact is that this tower will need to be so strong to support its own weight and that of a counterweight at the far end, which is that no known material or even a reasonably hypothetical one will do it, not by a long shot. So the space elevator has remained well on the fiction side of science fiction since its first proposal. Well, it hasn't stopped people from patenting it, though. It's possible. Anything can happen in the future. You might know some stories about some people who said some things were not possible. I mean, there was a time when having moving images behind the screen looked impossible, but hey, come on, we have it. You never know what could happen in 50 years' time. All right. Moving on from that, now Google says it's taking new steps to ensure that original reporting gets prioritized in its search results. In other words, articles that kick off a major news cycle should have a prominent place in search results for a longer time, rather than getting buried under more recent coverage, some of which may just summarize the original story. Now, while we typically show the latest and most comprehensive version of a story in news results, we've made changes to our products globally to highlight articles that we identify as significant original reporting. This was a quote from Google's Vice President of News, Richard Gingras, who wrote in a blog post. He continues to say that such articles may stay in a highly visible position longer. Now, this prominence allows users to view the original reporting while also looking at more recent articles alongside it. Prior to this time, SEO, which we know as search engine optimization, is something that has been quite big, but what they're working on is relevance. So they're saying that no matter how much of work you put in SEO in news that is not relevant, they're saying that the most relevant ones would show at the top of your search for news. Now, to a final story, originally announced in June, changes to Apple's App Store policies on its sign-in with Apple service and the rules around children's app categories are being tweaked. New apps must comply right away with the tweaked terms, but existing apps will have until early 2020 to comply with new rules. Now, the changes announced at Apple's developer conference in the summer were significant and raised concerns among developers that the rules could handicap their ability to do business in a universe that frankly offers tough alternatives to ad-based revenue for children's app. All right, that's all we can take this morning on our tech update.